Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And if you're not joining us live, we hope you will tune in and read or watch our video later when you have a minute of your time. I know everybody stays really busy. So when you get a chance, go ahead and listen to it. We've got some good information. Trying to do our best to get the word out because we don't have a whole lot of time left before the election. Just Jesse and I today, let me correct myself. Daniel Webster Gonzalez is with us. So hopefully Michelle will join in a little later. And if not, it'll be just us two. Jesse, what you got going on?
Well, we told everybody that we're going to be talking about this subject today. How are we winning? And we won this election. You got to win. You got to understand. We already won. And in so many ways, we've already won. A lot of people say, Jesse, are you talking about a moral victory? Well, you could call it whatever you want. But what we win is every time, and I got a Bible text. But if you look at just the national campaign, I'm not talking about the national campaign, but I'm talking about the local campaign. I'm talking about the family campaign. And people go, what is the family campaign? And therein lies the secret. Everybody here and everybody we talk to people. It doesn't matter what in your religion, in your family, in your friends. They go, I can't talk to my family or friends about politics. For example, we all have family members. Doesn't matter if you're Mexican, black, white, whatever you are. We all have family members that they refuse to talk to us about politics. They'll talk about the P. Diddy. They'll talk about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and they'll talk about the Dodgers. They'll talk about everything under the sun, Taylor Swift's boyfriends or non-boyfriends or conspiracy, but they will not talk about the subjects of the day. They will not talk about the open border. They will not talk about what's milk right now, a gallon.
30 something.
If you talk to our communist brothers and sisters,
Wait. If I buy the organic milk, it's like $5.99.
Okay, a gallon or half gallon?
It's a little less than a gallon. It's in between a gallon and half gallon, the one I buy.
And how much is gasoline right now?
$3.35.
And everybody we talk to, when you talk to them about their electric bill, what do they tell you?
Oh, this year's been bad. Everybody is complaining about their electric bill this year.
Not the Democrats, not our Democrat brothers and sisters. They don't. They hide everything. They live like in a cocoon. They think that the only subject under the sun, besides the Taylor Swift concert, is their abortion rights. And what's the other thing they believe in? And transgender rights. That's all they think. They can live on that. And maybe a solar panel here and there. So this is why I say we won. Because we've eliminated them from the debate. Look in the national campaign, for example. Everybody used to hate Dick Cheney. Is Dick Cheney in our party anymore?
No, he's supporting Kamala.
See, we won. We chased him out. And look in every local campaign. All the Republicans that used to hold power, are they in power anymore?
No.
They're leaving. They're leaving like crazy. So who's taking over these positions? We have a replacement of our own. Just like we're being replaced at the southern border by all these immigrants. We're also replacing people in power in the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. The grassroots are taking over. People who love the country. People who love. So in that sense, we have a victory. And here's another thing. Tomorrow, if Kamala Harris wins, what do you think gasoline is going to be the next month? January, the middle of January.
It's going to go up so high. I have no idea.
Okay. When? Let's just do the threefold test. When Trump was president, it was at $1.60. And it went up threefold. Let's say it went up to $3.90 or $4.25. Let's say it went up threefold. And it's $3.67 right now. Mm-hmm. What is it threefold?
Be $9, $10, $11.
So just using that same formula, if it went up threefold, we're looking at $10 gas. And don't you think that Governor Newsom is going to do anything? Besides, did you see the way Donald Trump called him new scum today?
New scum. He
Yeah.
has a nickname for everybody.
Yeah. And so if milk went up, what do you think it's going to be? So we plant seeds everywhere. We're planting seeds. A lot of our brothers are going to come late to the party. They're going to come late to the party. Some of us are here early. But if Kamala wins, they're going to have a hangover so bad when reality splits them in the head. They're going to see gas prices. They're going to see runaway inflation like never before. They've spent the treasury into oblivion. They're going to see people from all over the country in the tens of millions. You're going to see homeless people sleeping all over. You're going to see murder and mayhem. Did you see in that news where that woman was stabbing the cop?
Yeah, that was pretty
Now
scary.
the news won't play it. The news won't play it. So what happens is, because the news won't play that news, Americans are cursed to be living it. Because the news hides the truth from people, the curse falls upon us that we will live that. That's going to come to our front doors. So more people are going to wake up, and they're going to be what we call late to the party. But they're going to come to the party. They're going to come to the realization that their vote ruined our country. Because Donald Trump is a mean tweeter, because he says mean things. They hate him. And they go, why do you hate? Oh, he's so mean. Let's see. Letting terrorists across the border, that's not mean. They even refuse to engage that conversation. Mm-hmm. It's not until it hits them in their home, until it hits them in their wallet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. What I don't understand is that so many of these people are so well educated and they've seen what Trump was able to do, what he was able to do with one hand tied behind his back, because he didn't really have a cabinet or the people to help him, do the things that he wanted to get done. And yet they still go the other way.
Hey, at the founding of our country, the reason I'm Daniel Webster, I was always fascinated by this guy in American history. So he was a little bit after George Washington founded the Continental Congress, presided over the Continental Congress. He was born around those days. And so he lived right before Abraham Lincoln. So he lived in the life. He was a prominent orator of the day between George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln. So he carried the agenda during those years. He ran for president, he lost, and he was a member of what we called the Whig Party. And he lost a couple times, but he was a strong Central American figure, a pillar of our country. But something interesting that he taught, and something that John F. Kennedy also taught, is that they believed in a strong central government, And a lot of us Americans, like Fernando yesterday was talking about limited government, a small government. And I think during COVID, we got to see what happens when you have too much government. Like Donald Trump, he called Governor Newsom new scum. And he is kind of scum because he goes to lunch at restaurants when he doesn't allow members of we the people to go to. He doesn't social distance, but Americans have to social distance. And right there, people will see, this is what I mean by coming late to the party. They'll see that their elected representatives are hypocrites. They wear masks when the cameras are on, but when the cameras are off, they take them off. Mm-hmm. They're hypocrites of biblical proportion. And so they'll see that. They'll see that the inflation is starting to hit home. They'll find out that there's no more dollars to give around. And because they printed so many dollars, your dollar's worthless. And it's going to take a lot of money to buy a gallon of milk, to buy a gallon of gasoline. And people will come late to the party. But getting back to Daniel Webster, that's what I think happened during COVID. I think a lot of people have come too late to the party where we are today. If Kamala Harris wins, there will be more people mm-hmm. coming to the party, to the realization. So in a lot of ways, we've already won because the message is being sent out. And you see that everywhere in the national campaign, in the local campaign. Look how much they're spending to destroy Michelle. A lot of people are not buying it.
Yeah.
The simple-minded, naive people buy it. But the thinking, rational people know it's a lie.
You know what you're saying is so true. They are coming around, because I just received a little while ago an email from our local, the chairman for our local GOP office here in town. And Yuma's small. I mean, in what do you say, like 200,000 is our population in the winter, because because we get a lot of winter visitors.
Mm-hmm.
But year round that actually vote here, I don't know what the numbers are. What would you say, like 120
Yeah.
or 100,000 people? So elections, when you go walk into to vote in person, I think it started, was it Monday? I think it was Monday. I can't remember what day it was. But already up through yesterday, 805 Republicans have walked in to vote. 263 independents and 268 Democrats. Let me repeat those. Republicans, 805. Independents, 263. Democrats, 268. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
You know, I'm like that baseball game. I wait to the ninth innings, 2 out. Because you've been broken hearted so much, you know, and you want to wait to the last inning, to the last strike to celebrate. You don't want to pop that champagne too early. You don't want to start celebrating in the dugout when the opposing team still has 3 men on running and scoring position. And so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's good, Lisa. That's real good news, and that's an indicator where we stand. But never underestimate. Remember in Dumb and Dumber, when Lloyd goes, "Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber, you go out and totally redeem yourself."
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats can cheat themselves out of anything. These are the party of abortion. They're the party of withdrawal from Afghanistan. They're the party of transgenderism. They're the party of genital mutilation. Anything can happen with these people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. It's like yesterday I was going through all of wanted to see if I could find one of the mailers that we got from Trump. Swamp the vote. No, swamp them with votes. Make it too big to rig. And I think that's why we've got those numbers right now. I mean,
Yeah.
they're preaching that everywhere. So hopefully that's going to make a difference. I know what you're saying. I mean, it's not going to be over till the fat lady sings. So,
but it's true. It's true what Trump
happen.
is saying. It's true. Swamp the vote. Swamp it. And that's what I'm going about the national campaign, the local campaign. We have to fight everywhere, in every kitchen table. Don't surrender an inch. Shove it down your sister's throat. Shove it down your brother's throat. Shove it down your mom's ear. Everywhere. They don't want to hear it. But plant the seeds. Because if they win after their party, after their celebration, inflation is going to go through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like I said on Pinocchio. Remember when Pinocchio, they were playing on Treasure Island? Like, I want to go home. And what did that evil, the jailer, tell the kids?
What doesn't he tell him? He had to pay for.
He goes, "You had your fun, now pay for it."
Yeah.
All those kids would turn into jackasses. And that's what's going to happen to the Democrats. They're all going to turn into jackasses. They're going to have to pay for that inflation. They're going to have to pay for that. Somebody's going to have to pay for all the welfare. Somebody's going to have to pay for everything that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, just like in Pinocchio, it's true. Life imitates art.
Mm-hmm.
You've had your fun. It's time to pay for it. Remember, they taught us that when we were little kids, when we were studying the Great Depression in 1929. We had the Roaring Twenties, and the Great Depression hit in 1929 with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Our government has spent into oblivion. Somebody's going to have to pay. It's going to be us. We're going to pay for the decadent lifestyle we led.
Yeah. That's sad to think that it can get to that point. But do you think there's a lot of people out there that are Democrat and that are going to silently vote Republican?
Yeah, there's a lot of Bobby Kennedys out there. There's a lot of Tulsi Gabbards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying in every kitchen table, talk to them. We have to talk to our Democrat brothers and sisters. Something is going to affect them that they're going to wake up late to the party. That's why I keep talking about late to the party. This is where we win. We have to win. Hey, do you have a Bible verse? Can I read a Bible verse?
Mm-hmm.
It goes with this. Let me find it. It's Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10, verse 15. And I almost got it. It says, Luke chapter 10. Oh, man. Was it chapter Luke 15?
You lost your touch with the Bible, huh?
Yes, I did. Luke
Lack of
15.
practice.
Luke 15. The parable of the lost coin. The parable of the lost son. Okay, it says, suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Doesn't she light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together and says, rejoice with me. I have found my lost coin. In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. In our country, we're going to see the same thing. We have to be happy every time one of our brothers says, you know what? We can't allow an open border like this. We can't allow just runaway inflation like this. We can't allow the stealing like it's going on in California. We can't allow the two-tier justice system. We can't allow the betrayal of our country, our Constitution. We can't allow just abortion just as a form of contraception. Mm-hmm. There's karma. There's something karma. There's some justice, divine justice in the air. And I think a lot of our brothers and sisters are going to say that. Yeah, but right now they're drunk. They're punch drunk. And especially after COVID, they want to return to normalcy. It's like a drug. They want the P. Diddy concert. They want to go to Jay-Z. They want to go to that country. They want to return to normal because they lost everything. Do you see why during COVID I never participated in everything? I kept going to restaurants. I kept going out. I never wore the mask. Yeah, never changed. Never changed. So I think that in that form we're winning. Okay. Is Michelle there?
Yeah, Michelle. Huh?
Oh,
Michelle showed up.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle. Michelle, were you listening to us?
Just got home.
Let me just recap it then.
She'll join in a minute.
Okay. She could hear me that.
Yeah, so she's listening.
What we're doing is, you know how when you watch the news, everybody's talking about the polls? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that we won because we're going to do our own polls. When we go to work and you start talking about the issues of the day, you're going to notice that certain people walk away. You're going to notice that certain people, they could be your family, they'll cuss under their breath. Have you experienced that?
I think I'm very careful with who I talk to. I will make comments to people like constantly. It surprises me how many people, eventually they'll be like, "Well, you're gonna vote for Trump, right?" Or that it comes out that they're conservative. But I
But
haven't had that so much. Maybe because I'm careful,
yeah,
like,
and I'm not careful. I'm always engaged
yeah.
in the fight. I'm always talking about it. And so, what? Let me tell you what I see. Then, I see when you bring up conservative points, or you talk about inflation, or you talk about the border, you talk about abortion, you talk about any of the subjects, Afghanistan, the betrayal of our school systems. People don't want to talk about that.
Mhm.
And you know what? Today I saw a meme by a Democrat, and he was talking about Republican women, and he drew a picture of a woman sticking her head in the sand. They're that far gone. These are the people that don't want to talk about anything relevant. They live in the TMZ world. They
Mhm.
live in you should have put a finger on it world. And they say Republican women have their head in the sand.
Yeah.
So that's why I say don't waste a lot of time. Some people cannot be helped. That person who did that meme, he can't be helped.
Mhm.
He's going to have to be like the Polish people when the Nazis just came in and just slaughtered them with the Blitzkrieg. They're just going to get run over. Inflation is going to hit them. Or like John Lennon said, instant karma is going to get them. They
Mhm.
can't be helped. So we move on to the next family member. Move on to the next worker. Don't waste your time with stupid people. And here's another thing. Like Donald Trump talks about stupid people. One of the things you find out in the campaign, stupidity is contagious. You get too close to these stupid people, the P. Diddy types and the Jay-Z's and the rappers, it affects you. You start thinking like them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. It is contagious. Um, Lost my train of thought. Um, you had mentioned, well, I don't know if you have anything else to say about the subject that we're on, but the
No,
title of the
yeah,
video is 15-minute cities. Were you going to make a comment about that?
yeah. Have you ever heard of 15-minute city?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
Of course. My understanding is that it's the idea of keeping everybody just in one area where you won't need a vehicle and you can get to different things that you need. Like using a bike or something like that, or maybe public transportation. To me, it's a environmentalist green type of thing, where within the 15 minutes you can get to school, get to work, get to your grocery store, get to whatever, gasoline station. So you don't have to drive far to get there.
Yeah, but that's not how I identify my 15-minute city. Every
Mhm.
day I go to my 15-minute city. I got a 15-minute city. I know the 15-minute city you talked about, and I understand that. That's what the world says. But I got my own 15-minute city. I identify it. It's like the 15-minute city that Barack Obama talks about, that Harris talks about, that Joe Biden, because they're women. But what a man lives in his own 15-minute city. This is the 15-minute city, and I call this 15-minute city freedom. So I open it up to the Bill of Rights. If you spend 15 minutes, you could come live in my city. This is the 15-minute city that the founding fathers lived in, the ones that kicked ass, the ones who built our country, the
Mhm.
ones who beat the British out of here, the ones who beat the Nazis, the ones who beat the commies, the ones who built this great nation, that put the railroads, the ones that put the men on the moon, allegedly. All of this. This is the 15-minute city right here. It's called the United States Constitution. And in the Bill of Rights, if you read the Constitution, it's boring. It's a boring document because it's the process. That's where
Mhm.
the politicians live. But in this 15-minute city, this is where the cool people live and the Bill of Rights. This is where the plumbers live. This is where the air conditioning guys live. This is where the carpenters live. This is where the baseball players and the football players and the Las Vegas dancers, those girls, the showgirls, this is where they live. All those pretty girls. Oh, wait, we shouldn't talk about that. But, anyways, this is where our kids live. This is where we go to play basketball and baseball. And this is where we go to church and sing those great church songs. And the Constitution is real good, but all I'm saying, it's a little bit boring. If you spend 15 minutes in this, you can be in the city called freedom.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that was the vision I had about 15 minutes. When I hear the communists talk about 15-minute cities, I go, I already got my own 15-minute city. I go there every day. I go to the park. I go to the church. I got freedom of association. I got the right to carry a gun. All these things are in my city. So I don't need the George Soros city. I don't need Barack Obama's city. I don't need the city of Yuma's 15-minute planning. We don't need it. We got our own city.
That's an interesting take on it. Never thought of it that way.
Okay, Lisa, that's it. How long did we go?
Uh,
30 minutes.
almost 30 minutes.
You got anything to add?
No. Michelle's over here, but
Any questions?
she's busy.
All right.
No, we haven't had any questions. We did have a couple people join and listen in, but
Okay.
yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, until tomorrow.
All right.
Okay,
Good
and
night,
tomorrow's
everyone.
topic. What's tomorrow's topic? Today was victory.
Yeah, today was 15-minute cities and victory. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Now, we talked about the national campaign. Tomorrow, let's talk about the local campaign.
Okay.
Okay, what can we do to reinforce all our brothers and sisters? Because that's going to be real important. Even if we lose the national campaign, all politics is local. So I think tomorrow we ought to dedicate it to the local campaign.
Yeah, you have to start with the local because that means a lot.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.